Okay. Well, hello, welcome everybody. Get to see a little bit behind the curtains there. We have one of our final Swiss matchups in the final round of the Swiss for the Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando tourney. We got levelengine and RoseCitySaint today, both at 2-1. Both have already qualified for the bracket stage, but looking to improve that seeding. Joined on comms today by Trails and Frico. And gentlemen, I'm going to hand it right on over to you, and let's get this going.
Feel better soon, Cubs.
Thank you, sir.
Hey guys, it's Trails. How you guys doing? What's up, you Rando maniacs? It's round 4 of the Max Rando tournament. Let's go! It's RoseCitySaint versus levelengine here. They're both 2-1, and they're both in the brackets. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It should be a good match. What do you think, Frico?
I know nothing.
The race is counting down. Race by 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there they go.
You know nothing, but do you know Bagu?
I know nothing. I know nothing, and I stand by it.
These two guys, they should be taking off here any second now.
All right. Well, since we have a couple seconds, I believe levelengine got to 2-1 by defeating Zarnax in the last round, as well as, let's look up his results right quick. Let's see.
Looks like 4 gems. They start with the fairy spell and the child slot in the Darunia spell slot. So technically they have the child and the fairy spell, and it's looked like a 4 gem seed, I think.
Okay, to get back to where I was going, it was levelengine defeated Bent Glass Tube in round 1, and it looks like took a loss against J-Coper in round 2. Let's see, RoseCitySaint, I believe, was 2-0 until last round. Certain somebody in the commentary booth might have had a say in that.
I know nothing.
Yeah, RoseCitySaint was defeated by Trails in round 3. Looks like he defeated King Doll and...
Ooh, buddy! He just found the glove on the grass tile, dude. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's quite alright. Finding the glove's a pretty important thing to find. That potentially removes any kind of glove block. So if we find Palace 2 or I believe 5, we won't have to worry about glove block rooms.
I think it's 5 generally doesn't have the glove block. It's 2, 3, and 6. 2, 3, and 6.
Okay.
1, 4, and 5 are the ones that do not have them. GP almost always has a glove block.
Now we got to do a little something before we get to GP with 4 gems that we got to dunk. We're looking at, you know, convenience aside, you'd want to remove Palace 5 if at all possible, just because of how long it is from a time sense. But what other Palace would you be looking at going, alright, I really don't want to do this one?
Maybe Palace 4. Either Palace 4 or Palace 6. Or even Palace 2. Palace 2 can be rough sometimes. It can be really easy. You can just go down the elevator to the right and find the boss. Or Palace 2 can be, I call it Palace 5's little brother. Because it's shaped similar. They have similar rooms, and they're just really... Palace 2 has 5 branches. 2 to the left and 3 to the right. So it has a tendency to have you going down these long dead-end roads, and then you having to up and A and stuff. So definitely 5. Take 5 out of the equation, and either 4, 6, or 2. I'd flip a coin. Whichever one is closest to me is the one I'm going to do. Sometimes I've done Palace 5 because it was just closer, and I needed to place a gem really quickly.
Well, that seems almost counterproductive. place a gem quickly and go into Palace 5.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can't find any other palaces, like let's say you know where GP is and you've got 3 gems placed, you might want to just do Palace 5 real quick.
Fair point.
Levelengine, I believe, is about to get a 3rd heart container, while RCS is about to get the downward thrust technique.
Yeah, Levelengine and RoseCitySaint both now finding the heart container. That was at the end of this particular cave.
Yeah, you'll stab your eye out.
Hopefully you'd stab someone else's eye out if you're gonna jump over top and thrust down on them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sticking with the pointy end.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if meme troll. What am I talking about? I'm reading chat. I'm not sure if Levelengine has gotten the glove off of the grass tile yet. I don't. Oh, he does have. He does have the glove. Okay, cool. And he's got 3 heart containers. So this is.
Right now, RoseCitySaint simply has the advantage of finding the town that Levelengine's going to make his way over toward. And it looks like RoseCitySaint finding another town.
Ooh, he might need to know Bagoo, unless there's a pass-through cave.
It looks like Levelengine's going to explore... No, he's going to skip the graveyard and take the path over toward Upstab. So RoseCitySaint just a little bit ahead right now, exploration-wise. But definitely not to a point where we're going, oh wow, RoseCitySaint's minutes ahead and...
Oh, I like that. I like that downstab bounce that RoseCitySaint just did on that red diver in the dark. He's in Heart Container Cave right now. Let's see what he finds. Right now, they need the raft. And look, there it is, right in the Heart Container Cave.
Yeah, look at what we found. That's a raft. Well, with 4 gems, you're definitely going to need the raft. You can't just confine yourself to, oh, well, even if Great Palace is still on the Western continent, you've got to do 2 palaces, the remaining 2 palaces, plus 2 more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to be able to just do it. And RoseCitySaint's now looking for Bagoo, and I don't blame him. There's a graveyard tile down there, and if that's the case, that would be so funny, because Fairy is 101 magic points to cast, and they've only got 64. So they're going to have to grind out a bunch of magic levels, if that's the case.
That or find a item location that's hopefully a magic jar.
Actually, they did find the one side of Jump Cave. They did find that. I do remember that vaguely, them finding Jump Cave, now that my memory... But I think
RoseCitySaint's going for that Jump Cave.
Yep.
He popped his head in there and decided, no, that's not the right place.
No, that was the level. I think Rose City's gonna take it because I think he knows that if he has to cast the fairy spell, yeah, there he goes. This looks like a nasty Jump Cave, just right off the jump street. You gotta fight this red diver in the dark, and down goes RoseCitySaint at attack 2 with a red diver in the dark. You can cheese these guys, but at life 2, you gotta be really careful.
Well, he took 1 hit, and there went 2 of his 3 life blocks.
Yeah, and that was a perfectly timed life level right there. Look, he's gotta fight 2 more. That's a bunch of nice, easy XP. Now he only takes 1 heart each bop, but still, that's a hefty bit of damage, and Levelengine takes a death. I think he's in the Heart Container Cave right now. RoseCitySaint, just his lead just growing at the moment. You could see the look on his face when we were getting the restream all set up. This guy means business this round. He is not messing around. But holy mackerel, look at this cave.
Well, it'd be nice if we could look at the cave. The candle might actually be something we'd want to see soon, because this looks like not exactly an easy cave RoseCitySaint's trudging through as Levelengine finds the raft. So So again, we're equal on items. However, RoseCitySaint is slightly ahead in that he has made his way mostly through the next sequential cave.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's on a different section of the Western continent. He's in Palace 1, which he should be able to... Actually, he cannot catch, or he might be able to catch Fairy right now. I wasn't paying attention. But Palace 1 has the potential to have 4 or 5 key locations. Yeah, he can cast Fairy once, so this should be an easy pick for him. There's only 3 locked, well, there's 4 locked doors if you count the boss room, but there's 2 of these style rooms, and then there's the item room. So they started with 5 lives, so they've got plenty of wiggle room to take deaths. Levelengine is poking around looking for Bagu, and I don't blame him. He's leveling up his magic so he can get fairy cast, and he can. So he's probably, if I'm a betting man, I'm gonna say he's gonna go across Saria, and here he goes. He's headed in that direction. Fairy right across that river. Don't have to talk to Bagu.
Yeah, there we go. Almost immediately, Levelengine just queues up Fairy, gives it a cast, and gonna set sail across the river. So we'll see where Levelengine ends up. Gonna get a little restorative magic.
I'm a little surprised he didn't step in there to talk to the sleepy bot. I don't generally go out of my way to go do that. However, if I pass that door, I'm passing it anyway, and it could hold a vital information like possibly like a flute or a boot hint. It could say like boots in Death Mountain or flute in Death Mountain, and we might run into a scenario like we did the last race where flute's required, and then if you have that hint, you've got that edge. You know exactly where to go to get it, and etc, etc. But let's see if this guy has a hint. He knows nothing.
Well, Levelengine just picked up a spell, as well as RoseCitySaint just finding the item that was in Palace 1. Of course, my powers of observation are about as similar as how much I know, which is absolutely nothing.
He picked up a magic gold container. Ooh, cast a fairy. Okay, he did it. Man, that's a rough place to go. And dang it, I missed what Levelengine just got there.
It looked like Levelengine picked up the life spell.
Oh no, from the cave. I know Rose is getting ready to dunk this gem. And looks like that's Palace 3 or 6. I might just go ahead and do that. If I were Levelengine, I might stick my head in there, see what's crack-a-lack-a-lacking in there.
Well, Levelengine's found Palace 1, and it looks like he's going to do a little more exploring.
Looks like 2 or 5, Palace 1, and Palace 3 or 6. It's... I don't know if I would do Death Mountain right now, level. He's gonna check this one. It's level 2. I don't know, man. I might just go ahead and do it.
Well, we've got 1 and 2 right next door to each other, as well as right now 3 or 6 we don't know until we go inside as to which one it is.
I think Level's gonna poke around a little bit, try to get some more items. I don't think he's that. If you got like a magic container, maybe he would be good. Okay.
Ew.
I'm getting indications in chat that possibly it could be a 1-up dial. Right now, I'd be looking at different things I could cast to try to make my life easier in this cave.
Fairy would be a good one. Just elevate yourself up over this madness and...
Ooh, and it's a heart container. I might just cast Fairy and get the heck on out of there. You could blow through these enemies.
Now, it looks like Level Engine is a little more interested in trying to brawl his way through, and it just does not seem to be very effective.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to fight these guys where you're more than likely to block the. He's doing it. Sometimes they throw the up boomerangs, and yeah, I think he just wants to power his way through, get them stuck in the pit, grab the heart, and then clobber them while they're in the hole. Get that free XP. Take that life level, dude. That's right. RoseCitySaint taking down Mr. Ed over here. Go on, place his first gem.
What do you want to call it? 1410, the first gem goes in?
Mm-hmm. On RoseCitySaint's tracker, it says 14.
Well, all of the times are unofficial, so...
Yeah.
At this point,
I think he
found him, so, you know.
I think he might have split right when he killed Horsehead. That might have been what happened there. So RoseCitySaint just slicing through this seed like a knife in hot butter.
Well, it looks like he's decided, okay, well, Palace 2's right next door, so let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's dedicated to palaces and palaces only, and that's kind of how you have to do these wax render seeds, man. You just gotta place your gems and hold, jump in with both feet, GP could be 2 rooms, and just because you're never gonna lose if you rush the seed. You know what I mean? As far as placing the gems fast, if that's items is second priority, 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna lose. Because the first guy in GP is usually the winner. Except if you're bust under. Then somehow you end up squeaking a win in there.
Well, it happens. I believe the last seed I did commentary on, the first runner to end up in GP ended up having to leave because they were blocked by the Thunder spell.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, and that's why, towns and palaces should be priority. I don't know if you could consider it a gamble, trying to get Thunder first. It used to be the first Max Render tournament, Thunderbird was required 20% of the time. I paid attention to every single race, and I marked down and I did all the math, and throughout the Swiss rounds, and the, wow, look at that worm just hanging there in midair. Dropped a 500 pointer,
you
though.
Thought you were gonna jump, but Airworm just nope. You must pass through Red Dyra to advance forth.
RCS finds this room that leads to nowhere.
A little dead-end room. Well, removing one of the possibilities of possible routes to get to Helmet Head and/or the item.
That's one of those long branching dead ends. I was talking about. That's why Palace 2 can be kind of a jerk sometimes. And Level Engine is just going to go ahead and sail east. 4, 5, and 6 are over here.
Well,
4, 5, and 3.
Palace, so
yeah, but you can't. Unfortunately, you can't enter the Great Palace unless you do 4 gems. I think he's just looking for more resources. I think he wants a couple magic containers, maybe a couple hearts. I don't blame him, but when you're racing somebody like RoseCitySaint, you just kind of gotta go all in. Because, I mean, he's not messing around right now, he's trying to done quick as fast as possible. He's trying to place through his gems and kill that bird. So...
There's something about a tortoise and a hare, slow and steady, winning a race, that's coming to mind, but I'm not exactly sure if that applies here or not. But we will see. It looks like Level Engine has found old Kasuto.
I think he has this spell. I'm not sure, though. No, he doesn't. Okay. He's got Reflect, so if Palace 4 is on the table for him...
Well, he's on the proper continent for level 4, or excuse me, Palace 4. Level Engine is.
No, the thing is, he passed up 1 and 2 to come over here. He's found a great palace. I guess to look for a magic container, up an A immediately, and then do 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Great Palace is not far from the raft tile, but see, RoseCitySaint's already on his way to place his 3rd gem, and it's only 20 minutes in, and levelengine hasn't placed any, so this is a tough break for levelengine.
It may and it may not be. RoseCitySaint, although he does have a 2-gem lead right now. Oh, we see a River Devil sighting, and it's actually potentially blocking something.
Oh, that's so funny. The other thing, okay, RoseCitySaint's going into Trophy Cave. We'll be able to see what he's got. What's crack-a-lack-a-lacking over here? It might be a red jar. Oh, it's the medicine, so he can turn that in, possibly get the Thunder Spell. And so I guess we could mark that off in a levelengine's tracker as well, because we know for certain that he was in that cave.
Was in this cave a while ago.
Yeah, so he's definitely got the medicine. But, whatchamacallit, it's just, RoseCitySaint just backed out of level 6. Which could... I don't know. If that were me, I might stick my head in there and check out a couple rooms, just to see what's going on. You know, because the boss of Palace 6 could be just a couple rooms in. You have Fairy Spell, you have the Glove, you even have the Jump Spell in case you find that annoying room. So there's all that as well. Levelengine finds the magic key up in A's and just blasts through. Ooh, there's the flute.
Alright, so levelengine, if we find Three-Eyed Rock, it looks like there might be a way around the River Devil, because it looks like levelengine is right underneath where the River Devil would be on the map. Oh, it looks like levelengine getting tagged by a Moa.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's we call them coconuts. The Moas are the ones that fly back and forth, and
oh, he was bouncing off one of those eyeballs, but
yeah, those are the coconuts.
Ah, okay.
They just kind of stand still, and they can be even worse than the Moas, to be honest with you, because they just sit there. They're red. They fly very slow, but in the dark you can't see them. And if they hit you, they'll take like half of your health away. You know, they hit so hard. It's
their. Looks like levelengine's gonna remove the River Devil. Has to do so. So we'll see what's hiding behind the River Devil's guard post here.
RoseCitySaint entered 6, and I really respect him for this play. This is a play that I would normally do. At the very least, you're going to get a bunch of XP. A lot of times, he doesn't like it because he's been screwed around by level 6 a bunch of times. And I don't know, I passed on level 6 the other night, and I got really lucky because, well, I didn't have the Fairy Spell, and levelengine picks up the trophy, but I really respect and I agree with this play here. RoseCitySaint, I think, is doing the proper move. He's found the pass through Rebo, and Boss Barba should be on the other side of this somewhere. This either blocks the boss or the drop or the item. So I think RoseCitySaint is making a good play by doing level 6. I don't even think level 6 is even that long. See, he finds the Canadian drop hole room, and he makes the jump. Okay, so on the other side of this should be the boss of the item. RoseCitySaint's getting greedy, trying to get that XP.
Alright, levelengine picked up another spell, which I think this time was the spell.
I think this drop's gonna loop into itself. It might go somewhere else.
Ooh, Karok disappears with the cross. So, let's see. Karok has the cross in Palace 4.
Yeah, Karak has the cross in Palace 4, so you could definitely skip that item. Alright, so this drop room right here, levelengine found Nukasudo, so he has... I don't know if he can get...
Ooh, 7 magic containers.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the spell, so unfortunately...
the spell looked like it was in the 7th spot, although I'm not sure if he can actually cast the spell.
Okay, then that's...
Definitely has it.
Okay, then yeah, he needs a couple more magic levels to get that item. I don't think he's really looking for spells or items right now. I think he's looking for magic containers, and that's it. And RoseCitySaint finds the item room in Palace 6. See what he does after this. He's gonna get a level off this. He might get a magic container or possibly a pea bag. Rebo's not playing nice with him. He tried to knock Rebo off his high horse, but RoseCitySaint was knocked off his high horse. So let's see how he does it this time. Maybe he'll get it this time.
Ooh, levelengine did a little exploring and just said, nope, no thank you. And went back to the Northern Palace, so...
Oh yeah, levelengine is probably on his way to start placing gems. Which is kind of unfortunate at this stage in the game. With the fairy spell castable, and I just hope that he just blazes through these levels as quickly as possible, because RoseCitySaint's got quite a lead. And after doing this Palace 6, he's gonna have picked up 3, maybe even 4 levels. It looks like he's already leveled up once, and he's about to level up again. And the Barber Snake is usually 1,000 points, so if you manage your XP well, you can get a lot of levels in this one palace alone. So RoseCitySaint successfully knocks Rebo off his high horse. And I think this job is eventually just going to loop back into itself. If he keeps on taking it, it's going to eventually fall back into the Crumble Bridge room. And, I don't know, I have a feeling that RoseCitySaint's about to find the boss.
Levelengine looks like he's ready to go do some palaces. He's going to jump into Palace 1, so... Let's see if Levelengine's able to complete 1, 2... and 6, while RoseCitySaint is almost certainly going to head over to the Eastern Continent, and we'll see what he finds there aside from knowing where the Great Palace is.
RoseCitySaint's going to go to the east, and he's going to place the first gem he finds because the Great Palace is literally right there. As soon as you cross that bridge, the Great Palace is right there, so... RoseCitySaint's just gonna go ahead and place that gem of 4, 5, or 6, or 4, 5, or 3, or what, you know, whichever one he finds first, and then he's just gonna go straight into Great Palace. I don't think he's gonna do much exploration. He might try to find the free spells that are just lying around to see if he can get the Thunder spell. But I would love to see that.
So far, it looks like Levelengine, with all the exploring he did not find the Thunder spell. However, yeah. I do know Levelengine has the trophy, and I'm going to assume he has the medicine, since he was in the medicine, well, where the medicine, not the medicine cave itself, but the cave that contains the medicine.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit, if he turns into his spells, Thunderbird's required, RoseCitySaint might be in a bit of trouble. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Now, I'm not wishing bad on RoseCitySaint, I just want this race to be kind of exciting, and at this point of the race, it seems like RoseCitySaint's gonna run away with it.
Well, not so fast, because Levelengine has already completed almost all of the exploration, and we'll see how much of that exploration is going to pay off for him as opposed to turning into time that could have been better spent doing what Level Engine is doing right now, which is Palace 1, then almost certainly 2, which is right over top of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But we're talking about RoseCitySaint here. He's probably going to be doing little to no exploration. And that's why I'm kind of hoping for a T-Bird required seed. I kind of want to... I want something exciting and bold going on here. I want RoseCitySaint to jump in the GP, find Thunderbird, and go, oh heck, I gotta go leave and find Thunder. And that might give
Level Engine is reversed course and gonna go item hunting in level 1.
Well, this is a good play for him because RoseCitySaint found a magic container here, and that's gonna be a good play for level because he might be able to cast Fairy twice after that. I don't know, but it'd probably be the best thing that
he may need another magic level because he's on 64 right now, so he'll go up to 80. And as far as I am aware, Fairy costs 53. Oh, at Magic 5 it's 44. So Level Engine will not be able to cast Fairy twice.
Yeah, but it'll be close. It'll be better. It'll be more magic for him. If he does find a Thunder spell, maybe he'll be able to cast it. I don't think RoseCitySaint found the trophy.
Level Engine did. RoseCitySaint, the trophy is buried on the Eastern continent. So Level Engine found it as he's just found the magic jar, so that's going to be an up and A. And into Palace 2 we go for Level Engine.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting to get some traction right now, but RoseCitySaint's RoseCitySaint. You know what I mean? He's the Max Rando champion, technically, so, like, he's you know, the best in the tournament.
You're the champion until you lose your belt, so...
this is true.
Being the defending champion of Max Rando, you know, it does give Level Engine a bit of a tough ask to, hey, you're up against the defending champion in round 4 of the Swiss. Good luck. But
yeah, absolutely.
If Level Engine... I'm going to call it an upset, because anytime you take down the defending champion, I consider it an upset.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If Level Engine pulls off this upset, even though the match will not mean anything in the way of both competitors are going into the bracket stage.
Ooh, he found Helmet Head way faster than RoseCitySaint. He spent, I don't know, 60 seconds in this Palace 2. So there you go. He just picked up a lot of time here. He didn't go on that long dead-end branch like RoseCitySaint did, and he's about to place his second gem, so... I think you're onto something, Frico.
So Level Engine's now only a gem behind. And... well, we know that 6 is right there, but Level Engine may choose to nope out of there and go back to the Eastern Continent. We'll see what Level Engine's next play is.
I wonder if he goes and turns in that trophy.
Well, he pops his head into 1. Oh, here we go. It looks like he's going to head into 6.
Man, I really want him to get that Thunder spell just in case Thunderbird's required. If that's the case, RoseCitySaint could be in a little bit of trouble here.
Well, now we're basically on an even playing. Oh, Level Engine is deciding to.
He's saying no, and little does he know he's making the right play, because that was a kind of a long Palace 6. He spent a lot of time in there, and I know RoseCitySaint is, meanwhile, finishing off the seed. Level Engine's heading to find a town to turn in the trophy or the medicine. to see what spell he's gonna get. That's what it looks like.
Well, Rose City Saint's going to pick up the old Kasuto spell, which is Reflect. So that'll open up the potential for Palace 4, which we know is somewhere on the eastern continent. It could be Maze Island. I did not see a three-eyed rock yet. Level Engine's exploration was far from complete of the eastern continent, but he does know where all of the towns are.
Yeah, there's no doubt that RoseCitySaint is going to be in Great Palace first. That's without a doubt. But is Thunderbird going to be required? That could throw a wrench into things.
Well, do you go out of your way to look for Thunder at the start, or do you go through Great Palace just to get blocked off by the Thunderbird room?
Sometimes it depends, and it looks like RoseCitySaint is doing the play. I believe, is this the cave that Level Engine got the trophy out of? Or did he get it off of a desert square tile?
It was definitely a cave that the trophy was in.
Alright, then I think this is it, because the other cave, I don't think we saw. And RoseCitySaint's getting smacked around by those coconuts. And I believe it's fire, or thunder is this spell, and we're getting ready to find out right this second.
So Level Engine's
gonna
pick up fire.
And it's life. Fire's linked to life. And RoseCitySaint got the whistle out of the Risen Peabag Cave. So life is a very good spell to have, as cheap as 21, like Level Engine has. But he's gonna have to up an A, and he's gonna have to turn in that medicine if he wants that the Thunder spell. And it looks like I don't think he's put that together yet. Because that's the only spell he needs, and he definitely has the medicine. He was in the trophy cave. I wonder if he forgot.
Well, it could be that. He could still just be going, alright, I need to explore, I need to find this thing, I need to find the other thing. And it looks like he's gonna try to fairy feet through an encounter.
He does so, but unfortunately in that bridge you can only fairy feed one. I mean, you can fairy feed both, but you're gonna waste two cast of fairy getting through that little area.
Unfortunately, he does not have two casts of fairy, but it looks like Level Engine's heading toward the eastern continent, so gonna join RoseCitySaint.
That's really interesting.
I think Level Engine has dismissed Palace 6 from the palaces that he wants to complete. I would hope he's going to try for 3 and 4.
I bet you that's on his plan. That's Ooh, did you see that? I'm not sure if RoseCitySaint must have seen Great Palace.
Yeah, RoseCitySaint definitely saw Great Palace while Level Engine was exploring. Level Engine picking up a P-Bag, but RoseCitySaint is into a palace, which could well be his final one, and I believe this is 3.
Yeah, this is absolutely 3. I'm not sure if he Level Engine hit a dead end with those caves. If he's gonna go for the item or not, he's probably just gonna go ahead for the gem. And I don't blame him. That's the unfortunate thing with Level Engine and this seed, is that he did a little bit too much exploring. Unfortunately for him, RoseCitySaint has the medicine, so if Thunderbird's required, all he's got to do is up A, turn it in, get the Thunder spell. But this was kind of a jet seed. Yeah, RoseCitySaint's gonna get the item and up an A just because he's right here. Probably gonna be a P-Bag or a magic container. That's a magic
Oh,
container.
a magic jar. That's actually useful.
The thing is, though, I mean, like, RoseCitySaint's got 4 hearts. Levelengine's got that cheap 21 magic point life spell, which could fill up his life bar each time. So, I feel like that him exploring way too much has been kind of the death of him at this point.
Well, we don't entirely know that yet. Because RoseCitySaint, although he's looking at dunking his 4th gem, well, Levelengine's now into Palace 3 as well. So, Levelengine and RoseCitySaint both in Palace 3 right now. RoseCitySaint looking to dunk his 4th and final gem. Levelengine looking to complete his 3rd palace. It'll come down to Levelengine getting Thunder, which is in the 4th spell slot, gated behind the medicine, correct?
Yeah.
Now, RoseCitySaint's going to finish his 4th palace as he's going to take down Rebanak in short order.
Yeah, it really depends on whether or not Levelengine turns into medicine and if RoseCitySaint doesn't. If RoseCitySaint dives right into GP and Thunderbird's required, and Levelengine stands a chance here. But
well,
right now,
Saint's going to have to do some exploration because he would not know where Thunder is found. Levelengine knows, okay, there's only one spot and one spell that I'm missing. I know exactly where it is.
Exactly. So Levelengine has that going for him. But hopefully...
into Maze Island, possibly. Not just using it to reset.
So, yeah, Levelengine has that narrowed down. So if RoseCitySaint runs around in circles for a little bit looking for the town of Nibiru, which, I forget what Nibiru houses. It's the 5th spell slot. Levelengine has it. Maybe the shield spell. Yeah, it's the shield spell. If he's running around looking for Nibiru,
RoseCitySaint's having none of it. Going, alright, well, I finished 1, 2, 3, and 6. So, yeah, I'm just going to go in Great Palace and make it show me I need Thunder.
Exactly. That's the right play to do in a situation like this. 41 minutes in, RoseCitySaint enters the Great Palace. And at the very least, he's going to get some really good information here.
Hopefully the information, from RoseCitySaint's standpoint, the information he wants is either finding or not the Thunderbird room. And to go toward what you were saying, I also think it's absolutely the right play, because then... Uh-oh.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that right out. Let me just, put my foot in my mouth for a minute, and you can take over all the word things for the time being.
Well, it's not totally out of the possibility. See, there's a lot of different places he can go right now. It's a very good possibility that that was a dead end. So, what Levelengine needs at this point is for these all to be dead ends, and for him to go get that Thunder spell. Hopefully, he looks at his timer, realizes that Rose isn't done yet, and says, hey, maybe I should go get that Thunder spell. And maybe that's the right way. I feel like that's the only...
I don't know if I'd like to metagame like that. I mean, I want to run my own race. If my opponent beats me, then congratulations to them. I'm not gonna... Well, at least for the most part, not make a decision based off of, oh, well, my opponent's not done yet, so do I make this extremely risky call?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess to each their own. I mean, if I have my IRC open to see if I'm waiting for the dot done, and I notice that he's not done yet, and I've been running around in circles, you know, I might say, hey, Rose probably should have been done by now. So, and level engine jumps in level 5, Palace 5.
So it looks like Level Engine is into Maze Island and going to try to finish the Maze Island Palace, not even looking for items, just going, you know, full speed ahead straight into... this has to be Palace 5. I didn't see the MOA at the beginning.
This is Palace 5. This is definitely Palace 5.
So we've seen all the other palaces, even I can figure out that this is Palace 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's only got 4 hearts, and he's only got life 5. So this poses a little bit of concern. Without casting shield, I think Goom Goom will actually one-shot you. In this,
he does have a 13 cost life spell, though.
Yeah, which is going to be it's going to come in handy. It's going to be coming in handy, trust me.
Applied liberally to the forehead?
Absolutely. And well, not just that. He might not even get a chance to cast his life spell if Gooma hits him once, because I think Gooma does 4 hearts of damage at like 5. So
Level Engine's got his shield spell equipped, using it, but look at how little of his magic bar it uses. So he's going to be able to use shield and fire in multiple instances as RoseCitySaint continues to try to explore the Great Palace.
Yeah, I mean, it's really opened up wide for RoseCitySaint right now. There's, I think, 2 or 3 other pathways that he could have gone. But I feel like that the odds are in his favor at this point.
So it looks like RoseCitySaint's going to take a drop, while Level Engine is in Palace 5. He's hoping to make this his final palace that he goes into, but it looks like he's running into issues of being gated off.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to... He's actually trapped right now. Gonna have to take a death, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, at least he's at attack 5. I would say farm up a magic jar. If the small enemy group drop blue and red jars, I would absolutely farm a couple of them to try to get that thing going. But it looks like he's on a rightward path. Let's see if this takes him to the boss room. Meanwhile, RoseCitySaint, and here's the boss for Level Engine.
Boss room. Look at what we found.
And RoseCitySaint finds another drop room. This could be it.
Ooh, Gooma is just absolutely hitting like a truck, but it's not doing... he's not one-shotting Link, so there is time to cast the life spell. So here we go. Shield, fire's equipped, which is essentially super low-cost life spell, and it looks like we're just gonna jump right in and have a go at Gooma here.
Yeah, that's a big firm GG for RoseCitySaint.
Wow. And in other news, RoseCitySaint just, I found Dark Link, therefore I win. Thanks for playing.
Basically. So, Thunderbird's not required in these seeds, however, he can be in the pathways, but a lot of times, you know, you just place 4 gems and get up in there. So that's why I was saying it's kind of difficult to give someone like RoseCitySaint a bit of a lead going in there. You know?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, Level Engine, I don't want to say did the wrong thing, because he has all of the information he needs. Every once in a while, you get a seed like this where it's just straightforward. Here's all the palaces you need to do. Go do them.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this case, yeah, that's exactly how this was. There was a little bit of a grind to get the fairy spell rocking, but once you did that, then you know, It was just really, it's not a hard decision to make. Palace 6 so early on, with maybe only one fairy cast or maybe two fairy casts, can be kind of a hairy situation. But I mean, that's the name of the game now. Just get those gems placed. Took RoseCitySaint a little bit of time to get there, but I feel like he fought 2 Rebos and might have gotten a magic level in the process, so that helped him along the way. I don't know, the item in Palace 6...
of them, but yeah, he did get both of them in Palace 6, as well as Rebanak being the final boss of Palace 3, and I believe we're joined by RoseCitySaint right now as well.
You are indeed.
Hey, GG, Mr. RoseCitySaint, how's it going?
Thank you. Going well. That was a good seed. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you entered GP at the 41-minute mark flat, and it looks like that you finished. What was that? You finished
47:36.
Yeah.
RoseCitySaint's official time.
Took you about 6 minutes. We were all kind of, to be honest, you had a huge lead going in the Great Palace. And I saw that Thunderbird block, and I was kind of like, man, I hope that's the way. You know what I mean? But just to make things a little bit more interesting, because honestly, you'd placed 3 gems, and he hadn't placed one yet. So,
wow, I mean, I'm not even one to be fast to place gems. I'm not afraid to take my time on that a little bit. So that's strange to hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had 3 gems placed by the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, the first item you found was the glove, and then it's like, well, I guess all I really need now is the raft. Anytime you get 3 or more gems, you know you need the raft. So,
and the very next item you found was the raft.
yeah, exactly. And so this was like, well, I guess there's and you start with fairy and jump, and downstab was given to you pretty quickly, and so there was just nothing to have to wait on. It was just like, well, I guess it's just time to go, and then. So everything went fine, and I felt pretty good. I felt like I was progressing nicely. And then, like you said, GP, the first room you see is the T-Bird room. And I had seen, on my way to 2 dead ends, I saw the Trails room, and I saw, the top of the L7. So when I took that last drop, the drop that was just to the right of the Jackamus room, I knew, I'm like, there's only a 1 in 3 chance this leads me anywhere good, and 2/3 chance that I'm totally screwed. And it turned out just very, very lucky. It was the drop you needed.
That's how it goes sometimes. It's trial and error. I hate when you get presented with 2 drops at the same time, and it's like, one's going to take you somewhere you don't want to go, and the other one's going to take you to the right place, and then you take the wrong one. That's the worst feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, no.
I completely agree. There's nothing good about that feeling at all, and it takes the skill right out of your hands. It just puts it in, into RNG's hands.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, did the other guy decide to not take this one and take the other drop? Kind of when you're in a race scenario. It's always really nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking is the right word.
Is the only spell that level doesn't have the Thunder spell?
Exactly, but he does have the medicine. He narrowed it down to now he knows where the Thunder spell is. And you had the medicine as well, but you were missing 3 spell slots. So,
yeah, I would have had an interesting decision to make if I determined the Thunder was required. I would have to either continue to nose around the continent and look for Nabaru, or I could up an A knowing I had the medicine. And I honestly don't know which I would have chose. I thought about both.
The trophy was also on the eastern continent somewhere. I'm not sure. Maybe the desert tile. It wasn't in Risen Peabag Cave. That's where the flute was.
Yep.
But
I actually got the flute too.
Yeah. Levelengine ended up getting the trophy spell somewhere.
So he went back to the west after having sailed.
He went to the east, poked around a little bit, and then went to the west. Poked around a little bit, and then started doing palaces. He cleared out all the items in the west, I want to say, and so then he went east. He only had 4 magic containers for a long time in his seed, so I feel like that he kind of played this like you would play a standard seed, how you'd explore the majority of both continents before you place gems. That type of
Yeah,
play.
I love that strategy for standard, but in a max rando where you kind of start with everything you need, you probably don't have that kind of time. So I just wanted to pedal to the metal on this one.
Absolutely, that was that was the correct play on this, and that's usually the correct play on most max rando seeds.
Yeah.
It's usually that, but it's always funny to see a Thunderbird block or an upstab block or something just throws a wrench in the works. It's like, well, wait a minute, now I gotta go do another type of, whatever. I need to go explore somewhere else to be able to get stuff I need to progress with.
Yeah, speaking of that too, in the early game, I almost started to think that you needed boots to access the raft spot. When I saw that raft spot just south of Palace 6, it made me really nervous. And thankfully, you come across the 2 encounter bridge and are able to get back to the raft spot that way. But I was starting to tell myself, oh god, I'm going to have to dig around Death Mountain now for frickin' boots.
Yeah, those are always really fun, especially if it's like a one cave only hammer cave off in the distance, and you've got to go through dozens of caves in different directions just to find that one.
Yeah, exactly. And that would have been so punishing too, because there was no candle, no hammer, no boots. Obviously, if I'm in there looking for boots. And limited survivability. That was before you had the life spell. There was only maybe 3 heart containers at the time, if you were lucky. That would have been a really crappy scenario. I certainly would have gone into Palace 2 first if it came down to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. levelengine finds that drop to the right of the Jackmas room, says no thank you, decides to go left, sees the extra life. I think he's forced into that drop scenario. So you said this drop takes you right to Dark Link.
Yep.
So he's in good shape. He went the
That's
proper.
good. That'll
No,
help him.
he's turned around and he's going in a different direction now. Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, but he probably determined the same thing I did, right? That there was only a 1/3 chance that was good, and he wants to explore all the way to the left of this area.
He'll probably find the L7 drop, and it's going to put him back in one of those places that he does not want to be.
Oh, that's a puker.
Yeah, I mean, he already found the 1-up, so... and speaking of 1-ups, he just found another one.
Yeah, random item drop.
But yeah, he found a dead-end 1-up room. So I was telling the folks at the beginning of the race, oh man, he's about to take the Eon drop. This can't be good. Oh, he passes up on it. So I was telling the folks at the beginning of the race that this is just kind of like a fun match. You both are already in the brackets.
That's correct. Yeah.
So this is just kind of a race for fun, and
yeah, there may be seeding at stake. I'm not really sure. But either way, the seeding would be so abstract and so tight with only a 4-round Swiss that it wouldn't make much difference either way, right? If you have 2 wins, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. Man, he's getting beat up by those invisible eyeball moas in that waffle room. Oh man, I don't know if you're watching.
I am, yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Right at the top, he gets clipped by something and takes a death. Oh,
if you watch my webcam, I visibly hang my head and start cursing when that happens. When you're pixels away from the edge of a screen and die, it doesn't matter if you feel like you have a huge lead. You're still disgusted by that.
It's the worst. It's the absolute worst. He makes it through this time. I was saying earlier too when they were setting up the restream, the look on your face, because with the commentary stream we could see the webcam, and I'm like, man, RoseCitySaint means business this race. He's not effing around.
Really.
You had a toothpick in your mouth and you're rolling it back and forth.
Yeah, it was a lifesaver. That's sort of a pre-race ritual I do.
Okay, I thought it was a toothpick. I thought you were like,
yeah, we couldn't quite tell what it was, and we were like, okay, yeah, let's just go with the toothpick. That works.
No, it might have been but by the time you'd seen it, maybe it was only half the lifesaver sticking out of my mouth, and it might have resembled it because of my amazing HD equipment here. So that one's on me, but yeah, that's just something I do. It's just part superstition, part I don't know. timing. I know that by the time the thing melts in my mouth, I should be done with the West and moving on to the East if it's a standard seed, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that between the 15 to 20 minute mark, you should have completely explored the whole West and are prepared to go East. I've even full cleared the West with Death Mountain at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, exactly. So that's for those new to the randomizer, my best suggestion is grab a piece of hard candy, and if you pop it in when you start, and when it's melted, you better be sailing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think 20 minutes is a good baseline standard for when you should be either sailing or getting ready to sail. Or at least having the any key and full clearing Death Mountain and digging palaces for the raft. Because sometimes seeds are like that, you do all the caves, you do Death Mountain. That was kind of like my race the other night. I had a race with Victor actually last night, matter of fact, and you had to dig Death Mountain for the trophy, which was linked to Fairy, to be able to get to get the Fairy spell. And keys were dropping left and right, and Victor Santa Fe gave up on Death Mountain and tried to just use all the keys, and he ended up placing a bunch of gems, but when it got to Palace 6 he ran out, so he had to go back to Death Mountain to go get the Spectacle Rock, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, keys are nice, key drops are nice, but if you're trying to apply the logic that you need the magic key or the fairy spell in order to progress, you don't want to let the key drops get you off schedule, if you know what I mean. So
very rarely does that work out, you know what I mean, where you can just rely on key drops. Man, that room Levels in is so nasty. Look at that, he's getting buzz thundered, and he's got an orange and a blue chicken on his back. Good lord. Alright, he makes it through.
Yeah, just for lag reduction, if you kill the king bot, it'll despawn the other guys. That's sort of what I would have done.
Yeah, I think it just spawned in front of him so quickly, he just didn't know what to do with himself. He's gonna take the Eon drop now, because it's either that or the one by the Jackass room, and he's gonna be very upset.
Oh man, the salt is going to be real when you realize that it was the Jackass drop all along.
Well, he's going away from the Jackass drop, I believe, because was the Jackass to the right of the Trails room or the left?
Jackass was beyond the Trails room. I think the right path took you left through, from right to left through the Trails room, and you eventually find yourself taking one drop that leads to the
to that area,
to the Jackass area, right? And then you want the drop to the right of that.
All right, cool. He's heading back towards the Trails room. Hopefully, yeah, he's headed in that direction. Hopefully, he decides to take the other drop. But man, GG on this one. This is a bit of a jet seed, man. This is definitely a bit of a jet seed.
It was, and it just teased you just a little bit in the beginning with that raft spot looking a little boot blocked, and
that Thunderbird
T-Bird at the beginning of GP, just to give you something to think about. But yeah, other than that, knowing what we know now, this was a friendly one. It didn't require backtracking. I'm really glad too that I decided to do Palace 6. I almost, you saw that I noped out of it, and I started looking around for a while. And then I said at that time, I didn't have the Reflect spell. So I'm like, I can't do 4 in all likelihood. And if I skip 4 and 5, that leaves me having to do 6. So I just said, screw it, we're going to do it right now. I wanted to wait, but I figured, no, I better not.
Yeah, it worked out for you. You ended up getting a lot of levels out of there, man.
Yeah, exactly. Even the item there was a 500-point bag, and
but it was good early game.
Yeah, and I got lucky too in the sense that when I started it, I already had 2 keys to begin with, because Fairy was a little expensive. You could only cast it once, I think. But I figured if I start with 2 keys and I have 5 lives, that's a lot of doors I can go through. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you only had 2 lives, things might have gotten a little dicier. That really restricts your death abuse, and then you'd have to focus on doing a lot of upping and Aing. That can get messy, and that's why my first instinct was to hold off. But then when I realized I'm going to sail, and that's going to be the end of that, gotta try it now.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well. If Great Palace is definitely on the other continent, you may as well try to place all of the gems. And Great Palace was right there by the raft tile, just a little east and north. So at that point, it's just give me another palace. I don't even care. I'll do 5 at this point.
Yeah, I almost missed the area where Great Palace was the first time through. I'm glad I saw it, though, because those other palaces, like 3 that I decided to do, they were all right there, and I really would have wasted a lot of time circling the continent if I hadn't seen it at the last moment.
Oh, that's the worst. When you don't scroll the screen 1 or 2 tiles and you miss something. That's happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. And I always end up really angry at the end of the race.
Sure, yeah. When you play as much as we do, every shitty thing that can happen to you has happened a few times.
Yeah, and it's the worst. And then you say that's never going to happen again, and then it ends up happening. All right, so levelengine's back at that drop room. Let's see. Yeah, he's looks like he's going to take it. So let's see. You said this pops you into a one-way right turn that takes you right to Dark Link.
Yep, this this should do the trick pretty directly.
Yeah, then it should be GG for.
Yeah, you might be ahead of where I am. My stream's often lag behind, but I see levels on his last life.
Oh, is he? Well, he's on the Dark Link fight.
Okay,
so.
Okay.
This should be good. He's got a fire equal life. So, and he's got fire, it's only 21 MP, so, or 13 MP right now, so he can cast it 2, maybe 3 times. So he should be in good shape. Yeah, he's doing the corner strats. Looks like, let's see if, 1 second. He finished. So, see if he's coming in for the interview.
And GG to level. He got a little unlucky there in GP, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
His time could have easily been a lot better than that.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, his fate had already been sealed. You had finished before while he was entering the Great Palace. But you're absolutely right. If he would have just taken the drop the first go-around, it would have cost him less time. And sometimes that's the better play, because if you know you're right next to the L7 drop room, and you're right next to the Trails drop room, you may as well take it early, because if you're going to get screwed, you better not, rather do less backtracking than going all the way that way and taking the Eon drop of the L7 and ending up, God knows where. Yeah,
that's a good point. If I know I might get screwed, I like to figure that out earlier than later, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would probably be the better play. We're waiting to see if levelengine is going to join us here for the interview. I don't see him in chat. Okay, I got indication that somebody joined the chat, and it's levelengine. GG levelengine.
Thank you.
So what'd you think about this seed, dude?
To be honest, I hated it.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough.
The start was rough.
It gave you guys a couple of heart containers kind of early.
Yeah, at least it gave us those.
Yeah.
Only really needed 4 to do the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. It seemed like you did a lot of exploring. When there was palaces 1, 2, and 6 right there, and I think what RoseCitySaint did a couple. He did a couple caves. Did a little bit of exploration, and then jumped right into those palaces to place those gems. And I think that's kind of what gave him.
How many magic containers did he have when he started jumping into palaces, anyways?
I think he only had 4, but he did Palace 1 and immediately got that magic container out of the.
I was hoping maybe I could have found some outside the palaces anyways.
Yeah.
He was going to be having to rely on Fairy a lot to just do them all.
Yeah, I felt okay doing that only because you had 5 lives instead of the standard 3, right? So I figured if there was a little bit of death abusing going on, it made it okay. It made Fairy feel a lot cheaper than it was.
Still would have felt pretty time consuming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's always a risk, especially when you do Palace 6. Like I
Especially on
debated
6.
with myself. I debated with myself about whether or not to attempt to clear 6 before I sailed, and I noped out of it. And then about a minute and a half later, I returned, and I'm glad I did.
Well, I want to say around the 20-minute mark, RoseCitySaint had done all 3 of the palaces on the west, and he began to sail east. It was something around the 20-minute mark, I want to say.
Yeah, it might have been 25.
I was mentioning in the Frico, I was like, man. And you had started to pick up some traction because level engine, your level 2 or your Palace 2 was like a million times quicker than RoseCitySaint's. You went into Palace 2, took the elevator up and found the boss immediately.
In no time?
Yeah, it took you like 60 seconds. Whereas RoseCitySaint spent, I don't know, a few minutes in there.
Yeah, I went down.
Yeah, he went down and did all the other things. So your Palace 2 was like definitely a lot quicker than his. So you started to pick up some traction. But I don't know. I just feel like he just kind of nailed him out really quick early on, and then he had a little bit of a lead. I think he consistently had at least a 1-gem lead, pretty much the whole race.
I'm assuming you got off to a better start than I did as well, right?
Yeah, I don't think anything bad happened to me during the start. I got the glove right away.
Most.
Yeah,
we all got the glove right away.
Yeah, down stab. I picked up down stab, and then I headed through jump cave and right into 1 and 2.
Yeah, I want to say that you both had a very similar beginning. You both got wrecked pretty bad at the very beginning. It's really difficult.
There wasn't much to do in the beginning with a seed like that.
Yeah, and I mean, you both only had 2 hearts, so, and with life 1, you get killed really easily, maybe 1 or 2 hits, depending on the enemy.
Hit.
I mean, if Red Dyra hits you in the face with an axe at life 1, you're gonna take at least 2 hearts of damage.
There were a lot of boomerangs going around too, which are annoying.
Those are my worst. I hate those enemies.
Oh,
those are my least
especially
favorite.
in the dark with less than 2 or 3 hearts. Yeah, that sucks.
They're the worst. But I want to say you both were dying left and right early on, but there were hearts around. You know, you guys did get the glove and down stab really early, but there were a few caves that there were just hearts out there free for the taking, so that helped you guys a lot. I want to say level engine even had 4 hearts for the majority of the race when RoseCitySaint only had 3 hearts. But I want to say that RoseCitySaint spent a lot of early on placing the gems, and level engine sailed east rather early, did a little bit of exploration, and then came back and started placing gems. And at that point, RoseCitySaint had already plowed through a few dungeons or a few palaces.
Yeah, sometimes I wait for excuses to slow down almost, but this seed just kind of made it feel like just place the gem and move on. And I was even hesitant to go into the cave, like the cave that had the flute or whatever. But at that point, if something's directly in your path and you're still not 100% sure you're in go mode, I like to take the item. And if it's something like a heart or a magic container, that helps too. So if something was in my path, I was going to take it. But yeah, I didn't want to slow down.
Yeah, and you know, I wasn't trying to wish bad luck on you, RoseCitySaint, but I really wanted Thunderbird to be required so badly just to make this race a little bit like kind of interesting.
Yeah, I understand how that goes for the viewing audience and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, level engine, you had the information on where the Thunder spell was, and RoseCitySaint still had.
I simply had that information because I had every other spell aside from Thunder.
Exactly, and you had the medicine, so you could go grab it. Whereas RoseCitySaint still had 3 empty spell slots, and Thunderbird was the first room in, and I'm like,
one of the very first rooms in.
yeah, and I'm like, well, go get that Thunder, go get that. But I mean, it turned out to not be required, but it would have been kind of interesting because you you entered GP. I'm gonna say maybe 5 or 6 minutes after him. But had you had a thunder spell and it been required, then you know you could have easily won the race that way.
Yeah.
I also had the medicine, but there was no guarantee that I would have gone straight to Mito either. I have a feeling in the moment I would have decided to look around for Nabaru.
Yeah, plus the trophy was on the eastern continent as well. So if you would have poked around a little bit, you would have maybe found that and decided.
Oh yeah, that would have changed my tune. If I found the trophy before I found Nabaru, then I would up an A and I'd have two towns that I could check out very quickly. And that would probably have been my play.
I don't know, man. It was just a really awesome race. You both are in the brackets no matter what. This was a 2-1 race, and you guys had already been eligible to be in the of this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, it's always great to have you guys in here, Level Engine, especially you. You're a newer guy. You started coming to the tournaments rather recently. I want to say maybe a year and a half ago.
I would say.
Yeah, you started joining these tournaments, and it's always great to have you around. You know, you're really cool. You're really good at this game, and I don't know, man. You're just a cool dude. And you're very. I don't know, man. You can never count you out. Yeah, I mean, I've seen you put some of the baddest racers out, you know. So I never count you out. It's always a good race when I get to commentate a RoseCitySaint or a Level Engine seed race. It's always a good race, you know. So it's a pleasure for me to do commentary for you two.
Yeah, given that Level is mostly like a tournament specialist here, very worthy opponent.
Yeah, I see you really just playing your butt off, man. It's always great watching you guys race.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll get to see more of it up close and personal. So
yeah, I can't wait.
We'll see when the brackets get revealed. Probably Saturday night, maybe Sunday, depending on what Alan has going on. I can't wait to see who my next opponent is.
Round, right?
No, this was the end of the Swiss round, Level Engine. This was round 4.
Round 4 was the end?
Yeah, round 4 is the end, and this Saturday, I talked to Alan earlier about it. Actually, I talked to him last night about it because I wasn't sure myself, and because I had my race with Buzz Thunder 2 days ago, I think. Yeah, it was 2 days ago, and he said it was only 4 rounds. The form
says 4 to 5 rounds, and I'm assuming with the number of people he had, we just went with 4, right?
Yeah, that's probably what happened. But the thing is,
okay, now the form says 4 rounds.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah, I think it was updated halfway through. I know what Level is talking about. Before the tournament started,
it said
4 to 5.
But
yeah, I think he amended it to read 4 with 2 wins necessary to reach brackets.
Which I have.
Sometime right around the time it started. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have. I'm kind of curious to see who made it into the bracket stage.
RoseCitySaint's definitely in there.
Yeah, I'm definitely in there. Buzz Thunder's in there. You're in there. I'm not sure if Zarnax made it or
yeah. Jay Cooper is in. Victor is in.
Did Dark Magician join this tournament or not? I don't think he did.
Where are these brackets? I want to see this.
Well, you're gonna have a couple matches with people with 1 win going into round 4, which are essentially going to be elimination matches where the winner will go into the bracket stage, and unfortunately the loser will end up not being able to qualify.
Yeah, I think Paratroopa,
Yep.
Dr. J, PhD, those guys will probably be racing.
Level, you should have already received an invite to the...
I have.
Okay, yeah, so if you were to just click on that
the link
link...
to brackets, though.
Okay, yeah. Right now it's only showing 8 of us.
Never mind, I think I still have it.
Paratroopa, J. Cooper, Victor, Trails, Nightcrawler, myself, Level, and Buzz.
Oh, so Paratroopa's in the brackets.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, Paratroopa's in.
Alright, cool. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting brackets.
Nice.
Bracket races. I feel like that this Max Rando tournament's a little bit smaller than it was last year.
Yeah, there's only 8 of us now.
Yeah, which means it's going to be...
It's gonna go by quickly.
Yeah, it's going to go by quickly, which kind of makes me a little bit sad. I love the Max Rando tournament, but when do we do the standard tournament, Rose? Do you know? Is it started in like
That's
June?
like the
Usually in the summer.
second week of July. Usually, it's like I think
Ooh,
it
that's
started
kind of far.
July 14th or so last year. So I would look for it second or third week of July.
Can't wait to get back into that.
Oof, man, I really don't want to wait that long.
I like the standard a little bit more than Max Rando, but like when I first started playing, I was really hesitant to do Max Rando. But I'm glad I sort of just plugged my
I'd like
nose.
to see
and
if
jumped
one
into
day
the
I
deep
can get
end.
a sub-hour time on 6 gems with standard flags.
It happens, but it's got to be a really free seed. I generally get around the 110 mark consistently.
Or even consistently get close.
Yeah, I mean, getting a sub 60, it happens, but it's not that common. Usually, you gotta find.
Was actually lucky enough to do a sub 60 standard seed about like two or 3 weeks ago for the weekly.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
It must have been so free because usually you need the hammer that's in Death Mountain, or you need the Thunder Spell, which is deep in 5, or usually there's something that you need that's just like you gotta go digging around for.
It was long enough ago now. I don't remember the details, but like I know anytime if you're able to enter GP in like less than 52 minutes, you can feel it. It's coming, and yeah, GP was just cooperative enough.
Yeah, if you enter GP at around the 50-52 minute mark, I've actually done it the 50-minute mark before, like once. I think it was like 52 actually, but I was just like, whoa, dude, like that always feels good.
There was one standard seed that I sub-houred, and I think I came in 3rd place.
Oh, that's the worst.
That was like the freest seed of all time, yeah.
Yeah, I bet like Glove Magical Key was right there with like Thunder and Reflect, and it's like, welp.
Yeah,
where's that raft? Where's that raft?
That's everything. Like stopping in 1 or 2 extra caves just looking for magic containers is probably what did me in.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're facing people like, I don't know, me, you, Dig Shaker, Unos, like, you can't be just digging in caves, man.
No, if you don't need it, you don't take it.
Exactly, to the bare minimum, I've even beaten seeds without downstab and fairy before, just because I wanted to finish quick.
Yeah, you can do it. I always don't like that feeling. I always second guess myself the entire GP if I don't have those things. But sometimes you got to try.
Yeah.
On that note, I will step in and say GG Rose RCS GG. Looking forward to seeing both of you in brackets in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, appreciate it.
Big thank you to our tracker today, DarkRid12. Come on, bot, work with me here. Excuse me. And big thank you as well to our 2 commentators. Well done on the mic, both of you, Trails and Freako.
It was my pleasure.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah, Trails, Freako, thank you guys very much. Thank you for the restream. And GG level, we'll see you again sometime, maybe in the brackets.
Maybe. I would just have to beat Buzz Thunder, and then we'd meet in brackets.
All right, then. Good luck to you.
Thanks.